Here is my post-surgery report from having Cauda Equina and having the emergency back surgery. It's currently 7 months since surgery. I had it on, I came out of hospital on December the 23rd, so I've had to Google exactly how long it's been. 7 months, or 33 weeks, 234 days, you know, that's a milestone, 234 days, or 5,604 hours. Since my surgery, and here's my report of how it's been going. In general, everything is good. Like, hats off to the surgery. It went well. There's no back pain. There's no sciatic pain. I'll go into a little bit more detail about that. But clearly, all the idea of, oh, just take more painkillers, oh, it'll heal itself, blah blah blah. The excruciating pain that I was in during the herniation of the disc, or whatever it is, that wasn't going to be cured by some painkillers and some gentle stretching. So the surgery, instantly all good. You know, just surgical pains and all that kind of stuff. But the most recent updates are, so I still have a level of paralysis in my glute. So my sciatic pain was all down this side. So my glute here and in my calf. If I were to show you, if I go my tiptoes, I can go my tiptoes. If I go on that one, my strong side, fine. If I go on my other side, I'm very close to almost being able to. It's getting closer to being able to actually stand up on that, but not strong enough to. Oh, there, that was good. I could. Holding, and just, yes, if I leave, that's using all my strength in my calf to try and hold myself up. You know, my good side, just up and down, up and down, up and down. My right side, no, can't do it. Same with the glutes. So at the moment, running still is terrible form. It's so difficult to do, and with having bad form, so with very little power coming from the glute, very little push off with the Achilles and the calf. The form is completely different from one side to the other. So left hand side, I'm still my good side, forefoot striking, pushing off with the foot. Right side, heel striking, leg flopping, no power. So running is something which I'm reluctant to try and do at the moment, just because if you run with bad form, that will cause more issues, definitely going forward. So I'm really trying to. It is a fantastic exercise. I just don't want this thing sticking out my head. It is a fantastic exercise, and it gets my heart rate up. My muscles, my legs, my calves, everything are destroyed from even just a gentle, very slow jog with my 6-year-old. But because I know the form's bad, I really feel it in the knees, because there's obviously not the compression or the elasticity of your calf and your Achilles helping with the compression on the ground, and you just feel the joints, especially around the knee, just getting hot whenever you go running when you don't have good calf or glute strength. It means also going up hills. I don't know whether it's calf strength or certainly Achilles strength or something, but going uphill is fine if I'm walking, but if I try and go at any sort of speed, it doesn't work. So hill walking, I'm happy with. That's a great exercise, gets the cardio up, gets fitness up, works all the muscles I'm meant to be using. But if I were to do it with other people and try and keep up with other people, it's just a terrible posture, and everything goes out of whack. So trying to not do that. Cycling is good. I've got my fitness back up, so I can, and my bum fitness for that one. I went for a cycle for 2.5 hours the other day, so I can go on my bike and I can cycle. Granted, I'm not racing anybody. I'm avoiding hills, because again, whenever it gets to a hill, I still don't have that glute power to really push myself uphill, so I'm having to be in the maximum gear. Additionally, with that, I still can't use my clip-in shoes. So the shoes where the cleat is is more forefoot area. It's never really kind of in the middle, so it's in more forefoot. And if I try and do any stand-up cycling, because I don't have the strength in this calf to do stand-up cycling, I just can't push with my right-hand side. So when I go cycling, I'm wearing my normal trainers, my normal shoes, and I'm using very much the middle of my foot to do the pedaling. So a slight change in hip position, posture for cycling. But, we're talking like millimeters here, but it's been comfortable. I haven't had any issues with cycling. Like literally I can go for 2 hours out cycling, come back, feel exhausted, but not in any sort of pain. So cycling has been a fantastic exercise for me to do since then. On the elliptical cross trainer, fantastic as well. Great way for what I'm enjoying is going helpful leather on it. So it's like holding on the handlebars and going, must go like a crazed gerbil, hamster, whatever it is. And that's been a good way for me to get my cardio up. And because of the way it moves and all that kind of stuff, it's been good for developing the glute back. So although it's paralysed, although there's still a bit of paralysis in it, the bit of the muscle that has come back clearly hasn't had all the strength training that the other side has had, so it's still weaker. So even though, let's say it's only 50% is working, the other 50%, so the 50% which is working probably only has 70% strength of what I used to have. So it's not 50%, we're talking around about actually 40%, if that makes sense. So maths there. And same with calf. The calf, what is quite interesting is the difference in tightness in my calf muscles. If I stretch both my calves, I'm like, yeah, kind of tight on the left hand side, and because on my right hand side, which is my sciatic side, very, very tight. So it must mean that the muscles which are working are being overworked and are just getting tighter and tighter. And same if I try and do the plantar fasciitis calf stretch. It's really funny, my left knee can go so much further than my right knee. So there's clearly physiological changes in terms of the muscles and the tendons and all that kind of stuff down there in the coming back into normal activity. I went to go get my sports physio massage to find out where all my tight bits are again, and definitely all the hip areas super tight. They also found my quadratus lumborum muscles, we think are what are causing my hip changes. So whenever I lie down or sit down for a long time, when I get up, my hips are totally out of line. My belly button is not there, it's over here. I'm like, what is doing this? And within 10 minutes of walking around and everything, it's nice and straight again. But there's clearly something, tightness going on around here, which fortunately my sports massage lady, she was like, yeah, it's definitely something in your quadratus lumborum, which is a muscle that goes from your ribs up here down to your hip kind of area. And the way to stretch that is the leaning to the side, but having your hips and your shoulders against the wall, so you're not stretching over like that, you're really going like that. And doing that stretching, I found has been quite helpful. So the being proactive in figuring out what is wrong with me, what bits are tight, what bits need loosened off, what bits need strengthened up, and what bits need less activity done to it. Actually just don't do anything with it and just let it be chill is probably the important aspect going on here. It's just all that's how that's all going. However, today I had a massive downer because you'll see the place is a mess. I'm in the middle of tidying up. For me to tidy up, I like to make a mess first so I can figure out where it all goes. And today it's a day of trying to find a place of where I'm going to put my weightlifting stuff. So I've got my wrist straps, I've got my belts, my weightlifting shoes, and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'll just put it in the bag, and maybe I'll find a place in the attic or a cupboard somewhere I could just put it in. And then I kind of got hit. Got hit by a bit of sadness. It was really weird. It was like, yeah, I'll just pack this away. Then I was like, oh, goodbye, my previous me. Oh, that's that was my fun time. You know, I'm literally packing away my happy stuff. Lifting weights is something which I enjoy doing. That everyday progression of getting stronger, developing your technique, developing your strength, your endurance, your muscle endurance and all that kind of stuff. And it's something which you do work, you get results. It's a fantastic thing, and I just really enjoyed it. And I got pretty strong, you know, got to bench press of 150 kilograms. I was like, this is amazing. And there was the fun of working out all your exercise programs and you know, keeping records of all your training and all that, and like your 5 and your 3 and your 3 reps and so yeah, that's a downer. That's a downer because like, so working on I've just got to get over the idea. Like, I'm not doing weightlifting for a while. You know, even bench press and stuff. Just like, look, just work on being active, flexibility, mobility, and just being like healthy in terms of spine. Don't try and be a weightlifter again. So that is something which I'm gonna pack that away. Give it 2 years, a year, 2 years, and see, because again, my spine, although the surgery has been fantastic, and I have no back pain whatsoever, just a little bit of nerve regeneration that takes years, so I'm told. It can blow at any time again. That was what the surgeon was saying. They said, yeah, it could blow in the next 3 months. It could blow 2 years from now. There's no rhyme or necessarily reason. You could go out and sneeze and you've done your back, and you could go do some gardening, you do your back, and that's what I'm not doing. I'm never doing gardening. That's what I think caused all my back issues. Like lifting bags of stones out the car, up onto my shoulder, into the car, out into the garden, blah, just all that. I think that's what all that lifting, twisting, all that, like actual straight up and down weightlifting, never a problem. Shoulder press. Got up to 93 kilograms, 200 something pounds. Doing that never caused an issue with my back, I don't think. Did I? I don't think I did. Because like you're straight up and your spine is on top of each other. Anyway, I'm persuading myself to go back into weightlifting. Yeah, do 90 kilogram shoulder press, but just the sheer amount of muscle mass lost in shoulders, in chest, in core, in legs, from not doing any weightlifting now for 7 months, but also beforehand because of all the pain. We're talking about a year of weightlifting. I went to a friend's house and he had a bench press in his garage, and I was like, oh, let's have a go. A couple reps on the bar. I was like, yeah, this is great. A couple reps on 40, then 60, yeah, then 80, and then I thought, right, I'm going to try and do 100. It's like, it's like, oh wow, literally I've gone from 150 kilograms down to 50 kilograms, and oh my goodness, that little weight training session, my chest was so sore for at least 5 days. In fact, it's still a little bit tender just now, but that, you know, no press ups, no weightlifting, no bench press or anything for at least 8 months in total. Yeah, that maybe failing on 100 kilograms isn't too bad considering the sheer amount of time that I've not done anything. But and it's just like, oh, I want to get back into weightlifting. I want to build strength up and have sore chest muscles and shoulder muscles and arm muscles. It feels, in my head, that's a nice pain. That's a pain of progression, of achievement, of doing something. I'm just ranting. So yeah. Today's a sad day. Putting away my weightlifting stuff, putting it up in the attic somewhere, but to compensate for that, I'm going to try and go for a cycle for the next 2 hours. So, hey, no, could have been in a wheelchair, could have been incontinent and in a wheelchair, or I can go for a cycle for 2 hours now. You know, it's like swings and roundabouts. It's like, yeah, don't do weightlifting, but you can go maybe for a jog, but definitely for a cycle. You can go walk up a hill for the next 4 hours. Yeah. It's I've always got to be happy of where you are. It's an amazing place that I'm in. But at the same time, you are allowed to feel sadness for the loss of the person that I was before, the loss of the strength, of the physical abilities I had. You can feel down for that. It doesn't mean you're not allowed to not feel down. But yeah, that's where it's going. So just now, working on stretching, working on cardio, working on cycling, working on the QL and the calf and the glute stretches. But in terms of actual pain and niggles, absolutely nothing. So the surgery, absolute magic. No pain, not even ibuprofen, not even a paracetamol, not an aspirin or anything. It's ever since. But yeah, the withdrawal symptoms of whenever I came out of surgery. So here's a little question I had. What's the difference between an addict and somebody that's dependent on painkillers? For me to get through my work, to be able to get in the car, drive to places, do my work, I was dependent on painkillers. I needed vast amounts of tramadol, codeine, and all that kind of stuff that was probably nearly lethal, just to suffer enough pain to be able to still get in and out of the car without crying. But as soon as the surgery was done, came out of the surgery, and I was like, cool, don't need pain, don't need painkillers. Cold turkey. I suppose that's the difference between an addict and somebody that's dependent on that. So I should say I wasn't addicted to painkillers, but I was dependent on painkillers to get through the day. But as soon as the pain was gone, I was not dependent on it anymore, and I just kind of got rid of all the painkillers. However, the painkiller withdrawal symptoms was the same as what it'd be like if you were an addict to painkillers. Well, it's the same thing, because the cold sweats, literally. If you look back in my archive of my videos on YouTube, you'll see me doing the video here, and I'm just standing there, sweat is just dripping down me while doing nothing, just talking. I was like, what's going on? Why am I shaking? How the body is become so dependent on, or so accustomed or acclimatized to huge amounts of painkillers that when you come off it, it's a roller coaster ride. But yeah, what was it, about maybe 15 days, 20 days of withdrawal symptoms. After that, been fine ever since. So yeah, so progress from here, 7 months in, is just don't do weightlifting, even though you really want to get your strength back. Just work on your cardio, and work on your cycling fitness, and keep stretching out the tight muscles. So there you go. If you've got any questions about it, leave a message down below. Something like that. Okay, cheers, bye bye.